apologize for the terrible lighting. But yeah, it's dark this time of year, so forget it. It's gonna be like this. Sorry guys. All right, so this is the first week of Nano. How are you doing? Tell me in the comments. How's your word count? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you busy writing? Are you still doing this? Let me know. I definitely am still doing this. And yeah, so just to start, I did have a late start. Last week was absolutely crazy for me. I launched my children's book, Little Krampus and the Magical Sleigh Ride, so go check that out if you want. I did a free 5-day promo, so I was, sending those out, and then there was a typo, and I had to go to my illustrators and get that fixed and then re-upload because, that's just how the publishing game is. And I was getting ready, getting book 2 ready, going through those line edits and getting it ready for the copy editor. At the same time, I got my villain story novella back and going through those line edits and getting it ready for the copy editor. And yeah, just making, all these announcements and all these posts and so. And then of course Saturday was Halloween, and I just, first of all, my brain needed a break, or I was definitely going to not just go as a zombie, but be a zombie. So yeah, I needed to just relax and take the time off and enjoy Halloween and Sunday also. And Sunday was November 1st. So while a lot of people were getting their Nano on, I wasn't. I was just waiting until Monday, and Monday was my time to write. Monday is usually my time to write anyways, and I wasn't going to mess with my schedule just because November 1st, the first day of Nano, happened to be last Sunday. So late start, and I also still wanted to tweak my outline and work on it a little bit, but that's okay. That has not freaked me out in any way, getting my word counts, getting a slow count on my word count. But I wanted to make this video to talk about the first week of Nano, and I wanted to discuss some of the practices that I want to put into use, and maybe some of those practices are ones that you haven't thought of or you also want to try and adapt and get better at. For instance, writing faster and getting a higher word count a day, so that when it's no longer November, you can still take this on with you as a skill. So I want to talk about an accomplishment as well that I want to do that will tie into the word count thing. Okay, so yes, I have a plan, and my plan is to start and finish my 4th book in my Castilian Blood series. Absolutely. Getting those 50,000 words down, absolutely, that is my goal. But I see this month as an opportunity to become hyper-focused, calendar block, and also develop a new skill. The skill of dictation. Maybe you guys already do it and you get down 10,000 words a day, and that is so awesome. Please let me know your tips and tricks and secrets. I haven't really done too much research or read too much on tips and tricks, but I was thinking about it, and I'm just gonna try it my way and how I feel comfortable. I have tried this in the past, and it hasn't always worked for me. I keep like, my chair just keeps wanting to take me that way. All right, what happened to me in the past is I realized that, I guess being an introvert, I'm really in my own head, and when I focus, even though I have classical music playing and the door is closed, the moment I even speak out loud, it distracts me. And I just have trouble just relaying what I want to say, what I want my characters to say out loud. And so I would just go back into typing where everything feels clearer in my head. But I do understand that this is a skill, and people have developed this skill in order to speech to text, and they get a lot of words down. So I don't know if you've heard of authors saying, oh, I wrote 10,000 words today, or I wrote 20,000 words today, or some crazy obscure number. a lot of times this is why. They have programs like Dragon and they talk instead of write. And then of course, later on you go back and you edit typos, and I mean, these programs are gonna mishear you and such and such. I'm not gonna purchase Dragon. That is an expensive program. I'm not sure how much it is, but I'm not gonna do that. Now Word and Google Docs has a function for speech to text. I'm just gonna use Docs because I usually write in Google Docs. I really like how you can do chapter 1 and then make it a heading so that you have navigation pane, which Word does the exact same thing. And I can just always go skip and skip and skip. And if I have an idea or a side thought, I can do the exact same thing, give it a header. So I always know to go back to it when I need to go back to that character or that scene or whatnot. So I write myself little side notes. So yeah, for me, it's gonna be Google Docs, and I plan on using my headset so that I can just speak through the speaker and I don't have to be speaking loudly. And I mean, nobody else is in the room, because I know part of it too is like I get shy or nervous if someone else, even if it's just my husband, hearing me speak like my characters. It's not the edited manuscript, it's not ready yet. So for people to hear me saying these unedited versions, it's kind of the same thing. It's just shyness. So I'm gonna have my headphone on, and what I plan on doing is do both, is type and speak. And the moment I get stuck, just type it out. And when I feel like I can speak again, take a few moments and just try dictation again. So I think this is going to be a speech type process. And I hope that with practice, I do get better and I get faster at writing and become more comfortable getting into the rhythm of saying what I want to be put on paper, because I just get so into my head that it's better if I type. But I want to get that mind frame out of the way, and if I incorporate both at the same time and just start a pattern, that by the end of the day my word count does go up. So I am going to be posting my word count and my progress on dictation / typing intervals on Twitter. So if you are curious and want to see how I'm doing with this, follow me on Twitter. Okay, so that's my dictation writing goal for this November challenge, my personal goal. Tell me if you also want to try the same. It's really cool. It's like some authors are just like, I wrote 20,000 words today, and it's like, okay, how? Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is mindset. I don't want to look at this month as 50,000 words in 1 month. That's crazy. And I did talk about this a little bit in my last video, which you can see right here somewhere. But I suggest just creating checkpoints for yourself. And instead of going in with, okay, I need to write 3,000 words today, just go in with, I have 3 scenes to write. And when you put on your little, for me, it's my little owl timer. I like to start with 30 minutes. Maybe for you it's 20 minutes or 15 minutes. It's different for everybody. It's what you feel comfortable with. If it's 15 minutes, then you might want 3 of those in the morning instead of 1 30-minute. For me, it takes me a little while to get into it, so 30 minutes is good, because then once I'm actually in, I know that I still have 15 minutes. Not that it takes me that long, but I like a little bit more time. Just go in with, I have this one scene, and this is what I want to happen in that scene. My character needs to accomplish this, or needs to meet this person, and this needs to happen. So think of it, divide your days into scenes, into scene writings. Instead of thinking, I have 3,000 words to write today, or I have 2,000 or 6,000 words to write today, just think about what needs to happen in your scene. That way, to be honest, you still feel excited about what you're writing at the end of the day. the more you become consumed with the world that you are building, the word counts will just happen. And at the end of the day, you look at the time and it's 9 p.m. and you've written 5,000 words. No, I'm joking. Whatever your writing goal is or word count goal is, whatever it is, you've gotten there because you've changed your mind frame to thinking, this is what I want to happen in my scene, and then you get excited about writing it and you finish it instead of thinking, these words. And then use checklists to reward yourself. So you finish the first scene. Yay! Pour yourself a glass of rum. Or go for a walk or do something else, for instance, or give yourself a sticker. Sometimes when you see those like accomplishments up in the board, that gives you, I know it's very kindergarten, but it really works. It really, really does, because it's like you have accomplished something and it is visible. So once you put something visible in front of you, you want the next little sticker, the next, little whatever that you're giving yourself. So divide them into scenes. Also, if you give yourself a 3,000 word goal and you finish the scene, but it was not up to 3,000 words, you're going to cause yourself to, one, panic, and also waste time. Because now you're gonna go back into the same scene and think about how you can beef it up and add word counts, thinking that you have specific numbers for the next scene and the next scene, instead of you've accomplished the scene, this is the amount of words it took to accomplish that scene. Don't add words to that scene that don't belong. And if they do belong, your editor is going to tell you, hey, you need something here. Okay, and if you don't see that right now, don't worry. You might later, or somebody else will. Your editor or your beta reader will. You're gonna go back to it in the next drafts. So go on to your next scene. If you finish that scene and it's under your word count, who cares? Go on to your next scene. You never know, maybe you do make up those words in the next scene. You can't really always know this one scene is going to take 2,000 words and the next scene is going to take 2,500 words, or all of my scenes are going to be exactly 2,000 words. That's not realistic. So just wipe that slate clean and don't beat yourself up about it. So yeah, checklists and small rewards, they really do help. The next thing is give yourself writer block breaks. Yes, this is the same thing as saying allow yourself to have a break, but what happens is sometimes we get so consumed into what we need to do. It's like, you ever wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I have so much to do. And then you just lay in bed and go to Facebook or play a Facebook game or just spend the next hour on TikTok. This is like when your brain is on overdrive and you have so much to do, but it's like you don't know where to start. Sometimes that happens to writers, and we blame it on writer's block. Guess what? I don't believe in writer's block, because writer's block is more of either a lack of motivation to get into it or an overwhelm that you're too overwhelmed to start. So allow yourself during the day, during your nano days, to have moments of, okay, this is why the Pomodoro technique, the timer really, really works. I'm going to write for 30 minutes, and then after that, I'm going to do something else entirely different. I'm going to get on Pinterest, and I'm going to think about a character that I haven't developed yet, create a Pinterest board, and pin all of those little different things that remind you of that character and what you want that character to look like, what their personality might be or remind you of people from different movies or different people from history or different books. And just think about their wardrobe and think about who they are as a character, as a person, what you want them to accomplish, what their flaws are. Just think about anything. Doesn't have to be a character, it could be your world building, any part of your book or your story that you haven't developed yet. Make a Pinterest board on it. And I'm just picking on Pinterest, but you can do this in any different way in the fashion that you like. Making lists, going on Trello and making lists. But that way, you are still keeping yourself in the mind frame of your writing while keeping to the schedule of writing. So when I said do something entirely different, I didn't mean go paint a painting, because yes, we do need those breaks. But when you are doing nano, those breaks should be very minimum, and maybe that should be doing some exercise, which I'll talk about in a minute. So yeah, allow yourself to have these writing block brainstorming sessions. They're healthy and they keep you motivated. And don't forget to drink water. So I was joking around the other day with my husband saying that, you know, after every writing sprint, I'm going to do a different kind of sprint and max out my push-ups, or do 20, 25, 30 push-ups, and then do another writing sprint, and then after that writing sprint, do, you know, sit-ups, and then hit the treadmill, and then do something else to keep active, because we spend a lot of time as writers sitting down. I do not have a stand-up desk. As soon as I can afford a stand-up desk sometime, I will get one. But until then, my butt is on this chair. And that's not good. So, especially when it's starting to get cold now, it's like I want coffee or I want hot chocolate and things that are not healthy. So, all jokes aside, I might actually do that. And I did mention this in the last video as well, but make sure that you do get some exercise in. Part of your breaks should be to get up and go get some sunshine, go for a walk, go to the gym if you can, depending on where you are during this pandemic that is ongoing. I know that I certainly am putting it in my schedule, and it really does, you know, help maintain creativity. And speaking about motivation, if you have not done this yet, when you are on your profile in the NaNo website, you can put a cover for your project. Now, I do not have a cover made for book 4 in my series yet, so if you do go to my profile, please know that that ridiculous looking cover, it's kind of pretty, that I have on there is not a professional design. It was made by me in BookBrush, and all of my covers for the Killian Blood series will look similar to this. You will be able to know, oh, that has to be Killian Blood series because it has the same typography, the same girl. 2 other novels aren't of the girl character, it's the villain, or, you know, Ambrose the Reaper, but you'll still have the creepy eyes, the magic in the background, etc., etc., and it will also finish with the title of Escaping Demons, Lying with Demons, Dragons and Demons, Defying Demons. You get the point. So, yeah, no. The one I have there, I made as a placeholder, and you can do the same thing. You don't have to use BookBrush. I love BookBrush though, and I really recommend it, but you can use Canva. And I find having that cover there is motivation, because if I leave it blank, it's like, whatever could be. But when I have something there in place, it's something pretty to look at that I'm just like, yes, this is going to be upgraded and I'm gonna get there soon. So it might help. If you just have it blank, I don't know, maybe during your brainstorming break, your writer's block break, go over to BookBrush or Canva and create one. It's a fun, you know, creative experience to make it, and you'll have a placeholder. It's just nice to have something up to keep you motivated. All right, guys, that is it for today. That is all I have this week, and I need to get back to writing, so good luck with NaNo. I hope you found this this video useful, even though I derailed a little bit. I do apologize about that. I'm getting better, okay? I'm still kind of new to this YouTube stuff and recording myself and feeling comfortable in front of the camera, which I still do not. So thank you so much for supporting me in this channel and for subscribing and hanging there with me. I promise that these videos will get better, and I really hope that you're still finding them useful. Let me know in the comments if you have other video ideas that you'd like for me to make, and I will try my best to do them. And yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Killian Wolf. Bye, guys.
One life for the revolution.